Hello, lovelies. So our last reading for October, and really also August, was more reflecting on behaviors that we could really address, things that we could tie up, loose ends to tie up, things we can address and get rid of, as well as really holding on to some patience through some challenging situations. And I really want to see for November kind of what that's going to bring about, but really more or less just to see what transformations are getting ready to take place. Any last little things that are kind of stinging that you can address and get rid of, behaviors that you can recognize and change, or self-destructive thought processes or patterns or people, as well as looking at what is coming your way as far as potential and potent transformations between now and the end of the year. Next month, for December, we're going to take a look. I'm going to do 2 readings for December. One is going to do more of a reflection type of reading, looking at the energies for 2020 and really just reflect on that, what happened. How can we take that energy and use that into 2020, and that's going to lead into the second half of, or the second reading, which is going to be it's going to be focusing on the resolution based on that reflection. How can you use that for what to look forward to in 2021? How can you, if you're able to follow through with all of these types of transformations and these challenges and this patience, what is that paying off for? What can you look forward to in 2021 in general, or even at least just as you kind of flow into the first portion of 2021? So that's the plan. We're going to take a look at that transformational aspect, more of a kind of a preliminary transformational point. What can you start looking at now as we approach the end of the year that you can start reflecting on, tying up, finishing up, and getting ready to just kind of prep and motivate for 2021. Okay, so let's get started. All right, Capricorns, let's take a peek and see what behaviors or situations, emotions can be released, or that still kind of hold some emotion or some sting to it. Could be hurt, could be traumas or situations. What are we holding on to? 2 of Cups, 5 of Cups in reverse. So this looks like love. This looks like uncertainty, fear of rejection, fear of loss, fear of feeling pain, those types of things. For those of you who've kind of been in and out of relationships, I think this has been a tough one, because it's been kind of this, you meet somebody, it's not, if it's not long term, or if you're not sure, or if you're just not feeling 100% about it, then majority of the time it's, you're gaining something from this connection and then you're moving on. And I think that maybe some of you have had enough of those that you're like, I'm totally drained. Like, I'm not interested in doing these short-term learn lessons, find myself. I'm ready for the long haul here. And I think that's the pain is fearing that continuing to happen. Okay, and that's the part that we're trying to let go of here. And I say we because I'm also a Capricorn. So I see that there's been some possible self-destructive, potentials going on, or behaviors that could that could be leading you towards, behaviors that you're not necessarily are like you. I see a little bit of impulse. I also see emotional types of avenues that you're releasing into. So like drinking or, addictions and things like that. This has been something that's possibly been kind of like the quick go-to. And that's something that as you reach the end of 2020, you want to kind of taper away from that, so that you can go into 2021 without any, any tough things that you need to deal with. You want to be completely ready to take action and not needing to deal with something, basically, is what I'm getting at. Okay. So what aspect is kind of undergoing a potential and potent, important transformation here? I want to see if it's still love. Are we still talking? What are we talking about? So we've got High Priestess in reverse. So dealing with negative output, negative influences, narcissism, issues when it comes to family or home life. This could just be those maternal and important family and important types of relationships, we've got the Six of Wands, having resolution in these areas here. So you're wanting transformation when it comes to releasing the negativity, keeping that as far away from you as possible, really wanting to avoid even getting involved with anybody who's just short-terming it or not interested or not having that long-term intention. You're really wanting to, I see transformation, let me put it that way, in both that area as well as areas that you may not feel like were quite up to par with what your expectations were personally, or maybe there were some indulgent situations that were going on that you were dealing with rather than putting out the energy in the areas you normally would. But I see breakthroughs happening with those areas and transformations taking place where you just kind of get to take a breather. You feel more at peace in these areas, and that's probably why a lot of this self-indulgent or these addictive type or dependency types of it could be even shopping, or eating or whatever. It's whatever. Those things are coming to an end because I see clarification, clarity, perspective, a breakthrough taking place to give you what you need, the patience paying off and giving you that transformation so that you can have those changes take place. You can get rid of those destructive behaviors. I feel like for a lot of you, that's been kind of your go-to for dealing and coping with certain things in your life. Five of Swords. Okay, this is talking about how can you explore what it is you need or what you don't need in your life right now. Excuse me. So, a Capricorn's really good at taking conflicts, taking situations in your life and being able to find meaning. Sometimes more than we need to, but it's about trusting certain situations, trusting people, trusting their behaviors, trusting your own behaviors, and finding that balance that you can trust, right? Because we do live from the ego. It's just depending on how we use that moving forward. Well, for you, what you don't want in your life is living in a place of ego. You also don't want to have people like that around you or environments like that around you. You want to be able to have those gratifications and attract more of that into your life, not less of that. You don't want to have drama. You want to have peace. You want to have love. You want to have abundance. And again, peace is the big piece here. Peace is the big piece. That was funny. Peace is the big ticket. It's what helps you take that deep breath and realize that all your efforts are paying off, that things are making sense, all the puzzle pieces are coming together, the scales are tipping in your direction. Okay, however you want to put it. So what will ultimately bring you what's left? What will bring you what you're desiring here in life? Well, patience pays off, but also getting kind of all of your emotions in line, getting your structure, kind of that flow back in order. All of those things help you feel in control, and that's really what helps you get back on the roll. So it's almost been like this perma retrograde feeling, in my opinion, for several months now, and it's kind of like coming out of that and getting back into, okay, now I'm back in my flow. Now I feel like things are just kind of going. It's been very stagnant, if you will, for some time, and now we're getting back into this might be slow and steady, but it's still progressive. It's still, you can see it, feel it, you can recognize the shift towards resolution, if you will. Okay. All right. Is there anything else that you need to know? So it looks like it's kind of a combination between relationships, self, these bigger relationships and bigger things that are aspects in your life, behaviors. I mean, you got quite a bit going on here, but I think that it stems from this dependency or this desire for that deeper meaning in your relationships. But until you can really focus on getting rid of that negativity and just maintaining the positive, that's when some of those other aspects start to just kind of flow as well, okay? In other words, the better you feel about yourself, the better everything else starts to flow, and the more you start to attract in, okay? And I think that circumstantially as well as universally, all of these energies and everything as a whole has been affecting you. It's not just been you or your decisions. It's been a lot. You just kind of riding the wave until you've got that opportunity and that door opening to have a shift, and that's getting ready to take place. Yay for us. So I'm excited about that. If you guys want to look into your personal situation, feel free to let me know. All my information's down below. Take what fits and leave the rest. Again, just if you have questions, feel free to reach out. Everything's still 50% off. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a great month. Much love. We'll talk to you soon.